Hello everybody, this is Barry here from Nintendo Fuse, and today I'm going to be giving a review for 1-2 Switch for the Nintendo Switch. For anyone that doesn't know what this game is, this is pretty much the Switch's version of Wii Sports or Nintendo Land. It is a compilation game that is designed to show off the unique features that the Switch has, such as the camera, the HD rumble, the portability, the playing two players with one setup using the Joy-Cons as little controllers, and for the most part, it does that very well. Very well, in fact. Some of the games that are included are excellent. Not everyone's a winner, unfortunately. There are 28 games, although technically it's kind of like 27 because one of them is just a variation on another game. What do I think about it? Well, first off, unfortunately, this game is pretty much a 2+ player game. There is one, maybe two solo games that can be played solo, but you're pretty much going to be wanting to play this in a party situation. And for that, I think it's really, really well done. Problem is that they didn't include this with your Switch. This should have been a pack-in game. Hands down. It is very expensive, just buying it on your own. And I do have to put a quick disclaimer here. Nintendo did not actually send us a copy. This copy here I bought. So, as a consumer, I'm speaking. I think it could have been cheaper, or at the very least, a pack-in game. In fact, if it was a pack-in game, it would be amazing. But what are you expecting when you play this game? You're going to be playing multiplayer minigames. 2+ players, like I said. I played this with my wife, and we ran through each game, you know, at least once. Some games we played 6, 7 times because they were just that fun, and we got really competitive. And I think that's where the strength in the game lies. Some of the games to really try out, ball counting is probably the most talked about one outside of Quick Draw, simply because ball counting shows off the HD rumble. You really feel that there are balls in the Joy-Con in your hand, and you have to try to guess how many are there. And it's something that words can't express, and I know they showed it off, but it's something you have to feel to believe. It's really fascinating. The other big one they show off is Quick Draw. In fact, it's so popular, it's actually on the front of the game. Quick Draw is the first one they showed off. In fact, when they announced the game, they showed Quick Draw. It's well done. I thought it was just going to be a who can hit the button first, but it actually takes angles into consideration, and if you're too low, you will hit the ground and you will not win, even if you were the faster pull. What I think is even better is the variation on this, which is Fake Draw. Fake Draw, pretty much instead of just saying fire, they'll say a bunch of other F words like file to try to mess with you, and if you pull the trigger too early, you lose. That's a lot of fun, and I could just imagine in a more party situation that could be a blast, just laughing at people as they mess up and cheering on the people as they succeed. One game I didn't know what to expect and I found to be pretty deep was baseball. Now I have read that some people didn't like this. I really enjoyed this. This pretty much puts you at the bottom of the ninth. One player pitches, one player bats, and then you reverse and you go a full inning. You actually will play 3 outs. And my wife and I did this, and it was really interesting. I had 2 runners on. It was 2 outs, 2 strikes on my batter, and I was like, oh man, she's got me. And I was able to hit a 3-run homer. It was just really well done the way it's all sound. You have to really listen because obviously you're not really throwing a ball, but the way the sound comes about, and it's like you can just tell where that ball is. It is really cool. So baseball is one of those better ones. Other ones, Milk, which you've seen, I'm sure if you've seen any trailer, is really cool the way it works with pushing the L and the R buttons, and you feel the liquid going through, which is really interesting technology. Safe Crack was one my wife really liked. I thought it was okay. You literally turn the dial, try to figure out the combination of the safe. Some other ones, I'm just not going to go through them all quickly, but or all in detail. But some other ones that I think are worth playing. Signal Flags, Signal Flags is awesome. Sneaky Dice, I enjoyed, but it really that one only works if you're with somebody who likes to talk. If you're with a quiet person, Sneaky Dice is a nothing game. Soda Shake is another hot potato style fun game to play at parties. Table tennis is Wii Sports, or I think table tennis was actually in Wii Play, but it's like that, but only audio. You are literally playing a game of table tennis, just listening for the ball. Treasure Chest is the one that uses the Joy-Con to the fullest in terms of physically, because you were unwrapping a treasure chest, and the Joy-Con represents the treasure chest, and you had to spin it around. So that was really interesting. Now there are a few that I suggest staying away from. I just thought were terrible. Baby is the worst party game you could possibly think of. No one wants to be quiet in a party, let alone put a baby to sleep. Air Guitar was mindless. I mean, you could just do that right now, and boom, you play the game. Sword Fight, I thought was going to be cool. It just turned into random slashes. It didn't seem like anything was responding well. Zen, you could just put the controller on the floor and walk away, and you win. Gorilla, I thought was pretty out there, even for Nintendo. And then Beach Flag was the other one. It was an okay game, but you just get tired because you're running in place, and after a few rounds of doing it, you're exhausted. And if you want to work out, it's great, but if you want to go at a party, it's not the best thing. One thing I will say is Nintendo has produced little videos for every one of these games explaining how it works, and they're so cheesy that they're brilliant. They are just worth watching, even for the terrible games like Gorilla. Two people are literally in a gorilla costume trying to get the affection of a female gorilla. It's so ridiculous that it's just part of the charm that Nintendo has with the production of their games. Overall, do I think it's a great game? No. Do I think it's a fun game? Yes. Do I think it's worth full price at retail? No. I would definitely wait for this to come down. $20 price tag, I would definitely get it. If you're going to a party and you got to buy it now, try on Amazon or Best Buy. Try to get that 20% off. That will help you at least alleviate the cost. Again, in a party situation, this is great. But if you're, just a couple of you, you're going to pick it up. You're going to play it. You're going to have maybe an hour or two's fun, and you're going to put it on the shelf. And you're not going to touch it again, because there are better games to play. And there's nothing really compelling. They're mini games in the sense of WarioWare. That would be a good call. WarioWare games, where you got 5 minutes. Let's go do this. But you know what is another good 5-minute game? Tic-tac-toe. You can just do that with a pad and paper. So it really depends on your play style and the people you have surrounding you. Honestly, I give it a 6 out of 10. I would probably raise it to a 7 out of 10 if it was a pack-in, because as a system showcase, a technical system showcase, it is great. It is the game to bring with you to show your friends your Switch. To say, hey, check out what this thing can do. What differentiates this system from PlayStation and from Xbox. But you gotta purchase it in order to do that. And that's what's gonna dock it some points. But you got money to burn. You just want to pick it up. You want to support Nintendo. There's better games to pick up, but you can have some fun with this. So again, I'll give 1-2 Switch a 6 out of 10. For more Nintendo Switch coverage, please stay tuned at NintendoFuse.com.